Brand new company you might not have heard before. Let's get into it. What's up guys, welcome back to the Drone Camps channel. If you like my content and you like my videos, please do check me out on my Patreon. Please become a Patreon to level us up this year, guys. I need it. You can also buy me a cup of coffee if you want to just do a one-time donation. That would be super awesome. But let's go ahead and dive into what's new this week. To me, I have a whole brand new care package from a company called FlyingFish RC. These guys are creating frames for you guys. They're also creating brand new antennas, O3 extension cables. They have a brand new patch kit available for some HD goggles. We're gonna check these out. And they have some 2306 motors that are for a 6S 7-inch type build. So you can also fly those on a 5-inch and do some super freestyle with those low kV motors. But most importantly, we're gonna check out the Volador frame. So I'm excited about that. That is a brand new frame that came out that has T700 carbon fiber on there. So very nice, high quality, ultra high polish carbon fiber, super nice stuff. Let's go ahead and check out the first of the loot that we got from FlyingFish RC. Let's go ahead and check it out on the bench. So here it is, guys. The first of the loot is the Volador VX5. It is a brand new FPV freestyle frame from FlyingFish RC. By the way, you can check out this company at flyingfish-rc.com and you can see all their frames, their newest releases, their patch antennas, and their motors. They also have GoPro mounts and some pretty sick antennas. But let's open up this box. This frame comes in 3 different iterations. It comes in a VD6 dead cat one for long range, which is pretty cool for 6-inch. We have a VD5, which is also a dead cat version. The VD means the Volador dead cat, and the VX5, which is the Volador freestyle T700 frame. And everything is labeled in here, CNC camera, right-hand side. And you know, I think I like this one better than what I've seen for the SpeedyBee so far. It seems that this one's probably a better front end layout. It's more of a classic long body design with that kind of true X for freestyle that a lot of guys are looking for. I love that they use this T700 carbon fiber, very nice high quality carbon fiber arms with beveled edges on here, and they have kind of a cutout on the side. I talked about this on my live stream before. There's kind of a little bit of an extra bit of cut and fiber sticking out right here, and what that might do is just give you a little bit of extra rigidity right in the center of the arm. So that's kind of a neat design element. It's kind of unpolished on the side right there. It almost looks like like they messed up polishing it, but they're adding a little bit of extra strength on the direct middle of this arm, which is good to see. We also have motor bumpers out here on the end for the concrete if you have a hard crash, and all these arms going to lock into place just like this. And TPU motor mounts. And I mentioned this before in my live stream on the VX5 and the VD5, as well as the VD6. You get these like 3M kind of sticky top plate mounts with the logo on there for your battery. So that's gonna, you know, not have as much chafing on your battery, give it a little more kind of cushion if you do crash. It's not sticky though by any means, but that's really cool that they have that. Haven't seen that on a lot of frames lately. Their straps look okay, and honestly, I think their straps could be just a little bit better. Maybe they do have a metal buckle, but there's no kind of woven anything here. It feels like kind of like fake pleather maybe on that one. And then this strap is just a little bit longer, so it's cool. They give you 2 different length straps in there if you're using a bigger battery. And I think these things can fly a pretty decent sized battery. I would say like a 6S 1550 would probably be the max size I'd put on there. And this is the left side for the CNC camera mount. You also get some stickers, which is cool. Some extra TPU mount package over here as well. I just want to check out the side plate close up, kind of compare it to what we saw recently on the channel with the SpeedyBee Master HD. And this one has more of a matte finish on it versus that sort of shiny look that the SpeedyBee frame had. This one's kind of cool because you're not going to get a lot of reflections on this when you're flying. So I like things to be a little more inconspicuous when I'm up in the air. I don't like a lot of flashy LEDs and all that, but this is our extra TPU in there, and our bottom plate sandwich down here for your flight controller, your arms and everything, where all this comes together. And this is looking pretty beasty actually. This looks like 3mm down here. I'm pretty sure we could double check that with my calipers. So exactly, yes, this frame is around 3mm on these bottom plate sections, which is super nice. Let's check out the arms. Man, these arms are super beasty. It seems like my battery on my calipers are dying. So we have like 6mm on these arms. So as far as a freestyle frame goes right now, I think a lot of people are loving this for the thickness and the durability of kind of a basher freestyle quad. So here's the Volador VX5 all built up, guys. Most of it on here is M3 hardware, so you're going to mostly need an M3 driver. There are a few spots in the very back right here where the XT60 is going to live, and these are M2 bolts that go down through these posts. I made the mistake of putting the M3 post through there, so don't make that mistake. Let me make it for you, as I always say in these videos. And I got my bumper down here. The strap is on now. I have the arm hardware through, and it seems that I was missing one of the pieces of hardware on the bottom for the arm. So I have some extra bolts laying around. I just don't happen to have the extras that I need in the length here, but they are over at Mrs. Camp's house. So we're going to just talk about this frame for a minute before we move on to the next part of this review and talk about some of the differences between this one and the Master HD, which you guys saw on the channel recently. The HD has kind of more custom, less 3D printed type parts, more injection molded type stuff on there. And I want to say that frame was maybe a little easier to build. This one probably took around 30 minutes to build. But as far as a freestyle frame, if you're looking for a freestyle frame, you notice there's no GPS tray back here. And there's no option for a GPS tray. It's just straight up your O3 antenna coming out for your DJI single post, or 2 extra holes here for the receiver wires, and an Immortal T setup down here. So this one's going to be true freestyle. This is the X frame version, and this is for 5-inch. But again, you have these nice extra thickened in the center arms here, give it a little bit of extra rigidity and strength for freestyle crashes, which you're going to need. You do have a little bit of frame dampening down here by using their logo in the center. What they did was they put the arms on top of this piece of silicone and kind of smashed down on top of it as you're putting these arms together. So I thought that was pretty ingenious. I would like to see that there's a heat sink for the O3 in the back. They do have some nice TPU side skirts here. But yeah, this is you're gonna have to figure out how to put a heatsink on here. Maybe a third-party manufacturer will make us a heatsink at some point to be able to add to a quad build. I think that would be really good for 2023, especially since so many of you guys are installing O3 on these quads now. And this one's set up for O3 in the very back, flight controller right here in the middle. This one will accommodate a 20x20 stack and the 30x30 setup right there. So you don't have any problems there. We have a TPU front bumper up front here. We have our GoPro up front, and they also used panhead bolts, which I like a lot, because a lot of times without the panhead on there, they tend to rip through. If they're just the standard size machine top, not the panhead, they rip through the TPU, and that's kind of a bummer. And we've been talking about that for quite some time on this YouTube channel, and these companies are taking note of that. So whenever you guys make a comment down below too, these companies are reading this stuff, and a lot of these engineers go back and look through the comments. So if you see something that you want added to a frame like this, be sure to make a comment, because the community is super small, and it's amazing how the engineers do listen. But I like these kind of matte finished aluminum side skirt panels up here, and I like this one a lot better. This front end is what we kind of expect in the freestyle community when we're looking for kind of a compact, stubby front end, something that's going to be taking a massive hit. If you're coming in at 40, 50 miles an hour and you bounce off the side of a building, you want to hope that your camera's still intact. It might not be, but if you're lucky, it will be. So that's something to think about with freestyle, any type of freestyle flying, and especially if you're flying like bandos. This little bit of bumper protection up front from the bottom, from the concrete, is nice. And if you want to, you can put these on the end of your arms to protect the carbon off the end of the arms right here. I would definitely do that. I haven't put them on yet because, well, the motors are still sitting over there, and I'm gonna have to do this build. But I think it's a pretty decent frame. I think it's actually a little bit cheaper than the the Master HD, and it's just another 03 option for you guys. And I believe they have an analog version, if I'm not mistaken, and they also have the VD5. So they have it's basically the Volador dead cat version with the arms straight across. It's not as much of a freestyle quad. It's more of a cruiser, so to speak, with dead cat style frames. But anyway, let's move on to the next part of this review. And the next thing we're checking out today is the Flash series motors from FlyingFish RC. These are the 2306 1750 kV motors. These are good on a 6S battery for a whole bunch of power for racing, freestyle. Even if you wanted to set up something like a larger quad, like a 6-inch, you could also use these same motors on a 6-inch cruiser because they're low kV, and on 6S you're going to get a pretty good flight time with a minimal amount of throttle. But I like the way these look. The inset looks nice around the stator. Let's check out the copper coils in the bottom. Those look pretty decent in here, and the bell looks nice with kind of that matte finish again. It's a little bit of sparkle to that. It has a hollow core shaft in the center there with that 3mm top bolt section, and we also have some extras inside each box. If you open up the box, you're going to find that you have an anodized motor top as well. So this little nut that comes along with it, it's also colored, which is nice, and of course threaded so that it's lock threaded so it doesn't come loose. Let's check that out a little closer up. These are not colored, they are black. I am a damn liar. So we also have some M3 hardware in here that goes through the bottom, and we have an extra O-ring down there, so that's kind of nice. They have an extra 1, 2, and an extra grommet, so rubber grommet, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bolts. So they do give you an extra one there. That's nice to see that. But these are going to be sweet for a build that I have coming up. Maybe I should use those for my Volador builds. You can check that out on the channel coming up as well. We'll do kind of probably a step-by-step beginner build for a 6S quad on the channel. So that will be good for the community. And if I build this one, I'll tune it as well. Let's check out what they have to offer next. And by the way, these motors are $21.90 a piece. And I do like that purple. It's looking pretty good. Nice finish. And what we have next is very important for your build. If you're going to build a Volador and you're going to do it, say, 03, they do have an extension cable for 03s available. And I haven't seen a lot of these floating around a lot of different websites. So if you're looking for one of those right now, I'll put some links in this video description. You can grab one of these or two of these. It's always nice to have a few backups if you're doing 03 builds. These are going to be hard to find recently. So I do recommend snapping up those as quick as you can. We also have a standard DJI Cadex or air unit type of extension as well for the harness. That's super important to be able to make the distance of a large cruiser quad. We also have something here that I love because, well, there's not a lot of accessories out there right now for the DJI Goggles V2. And I'm not talking about the DJI Goggles 2. I'm talking about the old school now, the V2s. And these are the patch visor antenna for 5G, 8 dB. And they make a DJI version, and this is how they hook up. They have two patch antennas here, and you just screw these in. And on the top part is where these guys screw in. They also give you some M2 hardware in here to screw into the V2 goggles. It's so confusing that DJI named them V2s and goggles too, because it just all keeps us all confused. But I've been saying it so long for now, I'm kind of used to it. But these look very similar to true RC design antennas. So I'm wondering if they did like a combo with True RC. True RC makes some really good antennas. If you're looking for really, really nice high quality antennas for anything from analog to HD, True RC is one of our top picks. But let's look at these a little bit closer. Again, kind of a matte finish on these. They're called the Ospreys. And it's been a little while. It's been a minute since I flew my V2. So I was thinking about maybe putting those up for sale. If you guys want to buy a pair of used Drone Camp's V2 goggles from DJI, let me know in the comments down below, and maybe I can make you a deal on this set of Ospreys as well. I'll put those in the quad shop for you guys. Now let's check out what's next in the lineup. Now check out these tasty treats. These are brand new antennas in different lengths for you. If you're doing freestyle or bando bashing, you can do kind of a shorter antenna so you don't catch the ceiling when you're flying under and through gaps. I like a shorter antenna, but for cruising and getting out there for some range flying, I always like a nice tall antenna that reaches above the quad. That's super important. So we have two left-hand circular polarized here, and they also have some right-hand circular polarized, which are usually found on the analog quads. These have MMCX connectors, these have UFLs, so I'm assuming that these are going to be for your DJI quads that will hook right up to your Cadex Vista. If you want to do that, you can do a singular antenna or two antennas coming off of an air unit, and we'll have to see about compatibility with the O3s, but they're also making some nice TPU accessories for the GoPro Hero 9, 10, and 11 here. This one's a solid black. It has a little tab on this side for getting the GoPro in and out. And you know what? I already got my GoPro in this one because I love the way this one looked. And I have to give you some feedback on this TPU. This stuff, even though it has two tabs on both sides, it was a biatch to get my GoPro out of here. Once I got it in, it was pretty easy to get it in, but then it was like I was a stuck dog. I was stuck in this thing and I could not get out. Just, you know, I could not get out, guys. So that's one thing to think about with these. This TPU is crazy, crazy tough, which is good for saving your GoPro, and it will not damage the back screen, which with the 10 and 11, it's really like glass in that back screen, so you want to protect that nice. And I think these will do the trick. But you can find all this stuff on their website. If you want to check out FlyingFish-RC.com, you can see all of these new accessories and kind of frame parts and stuff that they're coming out with. I think it's super cool that there is a new company on the block bringing out some kind of new antennas, frames, and you know, I haven't seen a lot of accessory companies coming out recently, and that seems to be where a lot of these companies start. They start making accessories first, like iFlight and Diatone. Geprc started making a lot of frame kits to start, and then they ended up all doing their bind and flies. So maybe one day we'll have a bind and fly version of a Volador coming from FlyingFish RC very soon. What do you guys think? Put some comments down below. If you have a Volador, if you built one, let other guys in the DC community know how you like the FlyingFish RC stuff. And yeah, we hope to get some more stuff from them for review coming up. If you grab anything from my links down below, I am an affiliate for this company now, so I'm still going to bring you honest reviews on this stuff, and I'm going to let you know what's good in the Discord chat. So make sure you join our Discord down below. It's a permanent link. Sign into Discord. Once you signed in, then you can click the link and jump right into the Drone Camps community Discord. It's super fun. And again, if you want to become my Patreon this year and you love my content, please do that. Please subscribe, my homies, and I will see you on the next one. Take care, peace, and stay fly.